Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Appreciate your support as always. Shout out to the 19. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're going to talk a little bit about Unrivaled. Now, I spared you other than the first weekend or two about constantly doing videos on this, although I've touched on ratings in other videos, and I just want to touch on the ratings. But what I really want to get into is a solution, how to use Unrivaled to make the quality of the WNBA better, to make the players more skilled that enter the league, that have fan bases, that can set the W up for growth and success, which I think is what all of us want, except possibly the WNBA itself and most of its current players. So I just want to do a quick review of some of the ratings because we've also, this is why it says shocking, you're going to see something new that we haven't seen yet. But then I want to talk about a solution that I think is pretty cool. And I want y'all to let me know what you think in the comments below about it as well. So, real quick, just going through some of the numbers. I'm not going through all of them, but recently, it started out, had a great opening night, but then you hope most things like this, you're going to have a great opening night. It's going to drop, but then you hope you can at least sustain that and build on it. But that has never happened. Friday, January 31st, 140K, 190K. Saturday, the 1st, 130K. Monday, 150K, 190K. And it just continues like that, folks. As you can see, 170 and 180 on Friday. The next Friday, 150, 190. That's Saturday. Last week, 150. Friday night, 160, but also a 110. And then Saturday, finally, as you can see, below six figures, 90,000 people tuned in for Unrivaled. Only 20,000 in that 18 to 49 bracket. That is absolutely insane. And that is really, really bad. And that is, I mean, it's just not sustainable, right? So what do? I just saw something Unrivaled announce that Steph Curry is now an investor. Now, of course, that could mean Steph Curry threw $50,000 their way. I don't have the details on it, but still, even after all this, putting money into it, but I don't see with these numbers that we're seeing when everything other than that, I think the 1v1 tournament had a couple of days that popped it up over 200,000, but that was a gimmick. That's not sustainable. That's a couple night thing maybe out of the year if they were to continue to do it. It's not going to sustain a league. So, let's talk about how we fix this and improve the WNBA. Okay? I think that's the big thing here, right? That's what we want. And here we go. And I've touched on this before, but I want to just dive a little deeper. You make Unrivaled a developmental league, a minor league, if you will, if you want to use baseball terms, that bridge between college and the W. All right, the salaries would be less, obviously. You're not talking about the so-called stars of the W, you're talking about players coming into it from college that maybe would get drafted in the second round or even late in the first in the W and get cut or sit the bench for a couple of years and then get cut. Because the current setup with which minimizes the expenses of the league, is perfect for a minor league or developmental league that you could have. Not enough talent makes it into the W club. Good players don't make it. Players with potential never given a chance. Very few new players enter the league. Now, I know they have to over time because otherwise the league dies off, but I think you've all seen it. We've all heard about it as well. And now, thanks to Caitlin Clark, we're seeing more women's college basketball. Players are becoming more known also with NIL and so forth, and they're developing fan bases. And the game itself is changing, I think, for the better. I think it's going to take a long time, but it is changing for the better in the mock drafts. Just to give you an idea, in the mock drafts, I've seen about 75, 80% of the first round selections, say, 8, 9, 10 of the first round selections that they're projecting are guards. This doesn't happen, but this is a good thing. It will make the game faster. It'll make the game more exciting, hopefully more skilled, and, less rugby scrums with a basket. And by the way, just to give you an idea of what I'm saying, now it may change. They're both playing really well right now if they can have deep runs into the tournament, but right now, none of these drafts I've seen have Lucy Olson or Haley Van Lith taken in the first round. These are exactly the types of players who slipped through the cracks of the W that could help the league improve if given some time and an opportunity. So they're perfect to have a developmental league. There we go. I was going to say minor and I just, phew. Anyway. So the W has just got to stop the gatekeeping. It's got to open up the club that they have and let in these exciting players with potential who play a different game and can bring desperately needed excitement and fans. The W needs more talent. They are expanding right now, and they do not have enough talent for the 12 teams they already have. They simply do not have it. That's why no one watches because it's not exciting. It's boring. There's a lack of exciting talent in the league, and now you're adding more teams. So what do we do? Like I said, we turn Unrivaled into a developmental league. Not only will it help develop talent for the W, players that slip through the cracks, maybe players that aren't quite ready. And by the way, you can make just so people know, I didn't even mention I should have been. It can make it 5v5 as well, but it will generate more interest. It's going to make these players more well known if it's marketed correctly. It's a rising stars league, next gen, that sort of thing. And so instead of a good player getting drafted in the late in the first round or in the second round and getting cut or sitting the bench for a couple years before getting cut, she goes to the G League, she goes to Unrivaled, she starts, generates buzz, gets marketed, develops more skill, and then enters the WNBA a better player with a fan base, right? Players like Victoria Saxton, Grace Berger, Celeste Taylor, these types of players that could be better and enter the W with a fan base if given the opportunity that I think they deserve. I think that is the perfect future for Unrivaled. Do I think they're going to do it? No. I hope they will do it. I hope someone is sane and can connect with reality and looks at these numbers and be like, this just doesn't make sense. The W players should be getting more money with the new CBA. So they shouldn't need this, oh, woe is us. We only make more than, almost than most Americans out there playing 4 months of the year, but that makes us poor somehow. So, you know, throw us some more cash for a pickup league. But yeah, so anyway, that is my thoughts on the developmental. And look, if it's done right, if it's marketed right, you could actually see the ratings be better over time for this type of league, a rising stars league, than you see for the W. I mean, than you see right now, Unrivaled with the supposed stars in the league. But let me know your thoughts on the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the ratings. Let me know your thoughts on the idea of a developmental league, or what, do you think Unrivaled should just fold? I don't think they'll pack it in. I think they see cash. But do you think it should continue the way it is and try and get the biggest names in the W? But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you checking out this video. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. But if you know the drill, why haven't you done it? I'm just saying. I'll talk to you later.